Hey, beautiful people. It's your girl Rocqi from the It's a Real podcast and Rocky's Reactions. Make sure you check out the full playlist of Rocky's Reactions as I react to different YouTubers' content, as well as the It's a Real podcast episodes that we have clips and the full episodes out. So make sure you check out those. Make sure you subscribe and help us get monetized. All right, so today's reaction, the video link will be in the description box below. If you want the video to be on screen as I'm reacting to it, subscribe so we can hire a video editor. All right, so today is going to be Chantelle Simone. I have reacted to some of her videos before, so definitely check those out. Today's video is What Do Black Men Want? Learning How to Love Black Men. So I'm definitely interested to see her take on this. She's more in the traditional mindset. Remember to check out my personal YouTube channel, Life is Rocqi, and my Becoming a Feminine Woman series. Link is in the description box below, where I explore what's a balanced woman perspective and how to step forward into the future of who we are as women. Not taking some stuff from the traditional, taking some stuff from the modern, and finding that balance, okay? But yeah, let's get to it.
You can't be saying that you want to attract a specific man, but at the same time, you're not willing to learn what this man is attracted to. Where will we go? When the quarantine thing done and everybody touch. Hey YouTube, this is Chantelle, and I use my YouTube channel to encourage Black women to lean into their feminine energy so they can attract a masculine energy in their life. I also encourage you guys to normalize luxury in your life because you deserve your desires. And through the law of attraction, you can manifest your best lifestyle. In this video, we're going to talk about how Black women do not know how to love a man. It's a very controversial topic, but hear me out. I would love to hear your comments below, so go ahead and comment your 2 cents. Also, if you like to hear topics about femininity, the law of attraction, manifestation, and just living your best life, go ahead and subscribe because that is what we talk about on this channel. Let's go ahead and get into the topic for today. So a masculine energy feels loved when it's needed, right? When it's able to provide. A masculine energy takes pride in providing. However, Black women walk around proclaiming how much they do not need a man for anything and how independent they are and they can stand on their own, and a man is a want and not a need. So that is what I mean by when I say Black women do not know how to love a masculine energy.
So on my Becoming a Feminine Woman series, I do talk about how relationships require interdependence. So definitely check that video out. But yeah, I used to say this too. Like I used to say that I wanted my partner in my life. And it's just ego and pride, honestly, that prevented me from saying anything else. But I also want to remind you, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, belonging and love is a fundamental human need. We are social creatures. Now, yes, that doesn't have to be romantic in a sense. You can have familial, platonic, community, pets, plants, all that, children, all that to fill that need. However, like with my man, yes, I do need him in my life because he allows for the dreams that I have for my life to come to fruition. They would look entirely different, and I would not want them that way. Like, I want them how they are. So I need him here to make that happen, you know? And it's not like I'm entirely dependent on him just because I say I need him, you know? I did say before, like, I need him in my life. Didn't have to be romantic, but I need him in my life as that belonging and love need. But then it's like, you know, I need him as my romantic partner. Like, because God, I do not want to go out and date other men. Jesus. Nah. Yes, I need him as my man. I could survive without him. But again, I'm not looking at survival. I'm looking at thriving. What would allow my happiest, most peaceful, full of love life look like? And it's him being in my life.
A lot of Black women are delusional. You know, we think that, oh, take me as I am. but here are the things that I need you to change for me. And you see how unfair that is? Like, it's like, honestly, it does not work like that. You have to learn how to love a man. Black women need to get out of the mindset that being independent and, you know, not needing a man for anything is cute. It's not cute. It's not attractive, right?
It's really
not attractive to the kind of masculine man that you are.
Because your independence serve you in your education and career, it does not serve you in your relationships. Like, your masculine energy is beneficial in your education and career. It allows you to do all those things, all those accomplishments. But it doesn't mean anything in terms of your relationships, except for boundaries. But that's, you use your feminine energy in your relationship. So if you're saying I don't need a man, I'm independent and stuff, like, then yeah, why would somebody be in a relationship with you? You don't need them there.
To attract. Think of it this way, right? A masculine energy wants to provide. So he's not looking for a woman who can provide for her own, because then what will be his purpose? Like, I am not ugly. I'm not the ugliest person. I'm very
You ain't
successful in
ugly,
my
girl.
career. I have my master's degree and I have a bunch of certifications. I own an LLC and I own a fitness brand company. And my personality is cool. That's so I've heard. My personality is a little cool.
Yeah.
But like, I've been always wondering, like, okay, so why am I single? When I got to 27 was the age that I always said I wanted to be married by. And when I got to 27 and realized that I was nowhere close to being married,
no prospects.
Like, I was like, what? And then, I realized that the men I want, the kind of men that I wanted,
masculine,
like, they weren't, like, you know, around, like, and they didn't want me. The men I wanted didn't want me. I started learning about the law of attraction and stuff, and I was like, wait, if the law of attraction applies to every other area of my life, then obviously it applies to my love life. And if the law of attraction is that whatever I vibrate at, that's what I attract in my life, and I'm responsible for where my life is right now, that means I am the one responsible for my relationship status, not necessarily that there are no good men around, or, you know, all these men these days don't want to settle down. That's not the case, right? So I started doing my research, and that's when I learned about the feminine energy and the masculine energy, and I started listening to people like the Roommate podcast. I started listening to Rebecca Lynn Pope.
Roommates, shout out to them. I have done reactions to their videos as well. My fiance and I, we like the Roommates. But I didn't know this. I thought she was just more traditional minded, but it turns out like she was more modern, and then she did an assessment, and that's how she started shifting towards more traditional. So this is very fascinating. I like watched some of her channel, but I didn't know this aspect. So this is interesting to learn about her. But yeah, for me, I went from my mom was more feminine energy dominant. I was more of a modern woman, and now again, I'm not totally sold on traditional because there was a reason women chose to leave that, you know? But then modern isn't great for relationships. Again, it's great for our careers, great for our education, but not for relationships. So I'm trying to like pick the strengths, pick the good qualities of those, and present a new path for moving forward. And again, that's the balanced woman. So again, check out my Becoming a Feminine Woman series for that.
Recently started listening to Kevin Samuels, and just by doing these videos and reading the comments, and realize,
first of all, with Kevin Samuels, I don't think I reacted to any of his videos lately. I think I started on IG, but the reason women have such a hard time listening is because of the egos, because of pride. We don't want to hear it, you know? Even if it's true, we don't want to hear it. But at the time of my life where I started listening to Kevin Samuels and Fresh and Fit and all the manosphere, you know, I was already assessing myself. I was already reconnecting with my feminine energy. So I was more open to receive what they were saying. And then I'm highly logical as well. I'm an Aquarius. So the logic was just like boom, 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 boom. And I was like, oh, it kind of making sense. I can't really deny this. All right, let me listen. Let me be open and let me think about some things, you know?
And like, yo, it's true. Black women do not know how to love a black man, and that is why we haven't been attracting the kind of masculine energy that we desire in our life. The main thing I've learned in this process is that a masculine energy can hear less about your accomplishments. A masculine energy can care less about your your MBA, your PhD, or whatever title, whatever degree you have.
Because how
I
does
had
that
to learn what these
do
men
anything for the
actually care
relationship?
about, and they care about femininity. They care about, like, okay, can this woman just lay back and allow me to provide? And if we were to start a family, can this woman allow me to be the head of the household? A lot of y'all women just trying to fight these men so much. Who can be the head? Who wearing the pants? Like, what the hell? We mean who's wearing the pants in the relationship? That's so disrespectful to a masculine man. Like, you don't compete with your man to with who's wearing the pants in the relationship. You don't do that. Like, don't.
So, and again, this is where she goes towards the traditional, and this is where I disagree, because the aspect that I don't like of the traditional is that power and control dynamic. Like, look at history, people. Look at women's rights. There was, for a fact, power and control dynamics within relationships. So, as women became more liberated, they gained more power. And the modern woman does not want to relinquish that. So going all the way back to traditional is not a draw for many modern women. And I get it, because it's like, I done gained all this power and now I'm just gonna give it up, you know? So I understand that. And that's where you have to look at, and I check out my Becoming a Feminine Woman series. I talked about an episode where I was like, who's actually the better leader? Where I like legit looked at our experiences, our history, actual leadership qualities and skills, and he beat me out by far. So it's like, without even looking at gender, who's the better leader? It was him. So, but it's like, he doesn't try to take advantage of me, doesn't try to have power over me. I'm also, again, yin and yang. You have majority masculine with a dot of feminine. You have majority feminine with a dot of masculine. You need both within and surrounding, okay? So that dot of masculine is your boundaries, ladies. You don't let that go just because you and your feminine. So like, yeah, if he ever tried to do some shit where it's trying to have power and control over me, that's when my boundaries come in. I'm like, sir. I'm grown in here. I can walk away. Okay. Yeah, so we have so many issues. And this overcorrection is leading to another overcorrection. And people just not looking at the and both. People really not. And that's why we have our either or and both segment, or both and segment on the Israel podcast. Because it's like, we're so used to thinking in black or white when we need to start looking at the gray. There's a lot of nuances to just life, okay?
That's not your role, you know. The creator, God, the
Okay.
universe, Allah, whatever you want.
And I'm done. I think some people have natural leanings as far as their masculine feminine energy. And then, because again, I'm queer, so looking at, you know, any of the gender identities, it's like you start questioning the natural, right? So I would look at it as an individual and not group, you know, people together. But I would say a woman in her feminine energy is different than a man in his feminine energy. And not to say that men shouldn't be in their feminine energy, because again, we all need both. They all serve a purpose. They all are beneficial, and we are out of balance if we're only in one. Okay. But it does look different. All right. So like my fiance, when he's in his feminine energy, when I'm just going through something emotionally, he's understanding, he's listening, he's checking on me and making sure that he's nurturing to me and supportive and comforting for me. Like, that's him in his feminine energy, you know, but it doesn't look the same as me being in my feminine energy, and that's okay. And one of these times, check out our Finding Balance series on the It's a Real podcast. We really break it down for what those qualities look like in your masculine and feminine energy. But I think I'm going to call it a wrap on this video. Yeah. I think I offer a unique perspective because I am queer, so I do have access into some of the exceptions, you know, and it's like you can't generalize, because not all women are the same, not all men are the same, you know. You really got to look at the individual and see what works. That's the biggest thing. Just find what works, all right, and find what doesn't. And I would say with a lot of modern women, we're seeing what doesn't work. because a lot of them are remaining single. A lot of men are not choosing them, and they're choosing women of other ethnicities who culturally embrace their feminine energy more. So I'm just saying. But all right, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What do Black men want? What do you think they want? How do you know how to love them? Yeah, and subscribe. Peace and love.